first turn and talk is going to be the following question. Can someone read it for me? Michael?
Can we multiply to make the following whole numbers?
All right, so we have a list of decimals there. I want you to think for a minute and give me a quiet thumbs up when you can tell me how we can multiply to make those decimals whole numbers. When you have an idea. You're going to turn and talk to the people at your table, answer the questions, and then figure out what the whole numbers would be. I'm going to give you 3 minutes. So, for instance, for the first number, 37 and 5/10, how could you make
10 to the power of 1 because you're only moving the digit by 1 time to the left.
Okay. And so what about for the second one?
The second one, 10 to the power of 2. Square. Yeah, square.
10 squared, 100, 2 powers of 10, all the same thing, right? All right. What about the third one?
The same thing.
Okay.
But then the last one would be 10 to the power of 3.
Yeah, that would work. Or you could just do power of 4, then power of 2.
Yes. So it would be 37. No, 375, 729, 4,271, and 7,802.
The second one would be 10 to the second power of 3. 10 to the second power.
The last one, 10 to the third power. So we got it.
So essentially what we've talked about today is that when we're going to be multiplying decimals, we're first going to move the decimals out of the way. You're going to talk to older brothers and sisters and parents that are just going to say, just get rid of the decimal. And I hope that you're going to say to them, you can't do that. Right? We can use powers of 10 to move them out of the way. That's mathematical. We can't just ignore them and get rid of them. And then we can put them back by doing the opposite, by dividing. Okay? Once we move the decimal out of the way, we end up with whole numbers. And we work really well with whole numbers, don't we?
Yes.
Okay? So we're going to practice today. We're going to move the decimals out of the way. We're going to do our operations with whole numbers, and then we're going to use our powers of 10 and division to put the decimal in our answer. We need to first, whenever we're multiplying decimals, we need to be working with whole numbers, okay? And we're going to start by moving the decimal out of the way, which means we're going to be multiplying by some power of 10. Who can tell me how many powers of 10 I need to multiply 1 4/10 by to make it a whole number? 10 to the first power. We can just call it 10 or 10 to the first power. And what whole number will we get? Jarlise?
14.
14. I'm putting my decimal point right there because I want to remember I have to put it back. Because 1 4/10 times 5 is not the same as 14 times 5. Now we're going to multiply. Go ahead and do that. What do you get? What's up? 70. Now we need to divide by the same power of 10 to put the decimal back where it belongs. So how many powers of 10 am I going to divide by? 10 to the first power. And what is 70 divided by 10? Angie?
7.
7. And it's going to look like this if you shift your digits, right? If anyone's using a place value chart to shift your digits, that's what it would look like. Okay? So we have to move the decimal out of the way, or we have to put it back.